What's up, guys? Welcome to the very first lecture of the course. This video is mainly going to be about getting our project set up, and we're also going to get into a little bit of coding, and I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of what the course is going to be like and how it's going to be structured, so on and so forth. So to get started, go ahead and open up Xcode, guys, and create a new project. If you don't know how to do that, just open up Xcode, go to File, New, and select Xcode project. I'm assuming most of you know how to do that if you're taking this course. Anyway, we're going to select App, hit Next, and I'm going to name this guy SwiftUI Chat Tutorial. All this stuff should be good. Make sure the interface you have selected is SwiftUI, and your lifecycle is going to be SwiftUI App, not UIKit App Delegate. And language, we are going to be using Swift. So we're going to go ahead and hit Next. Go ahead and hit Create. And this is our project, okay? Let's see. Let me fix this really quickly. We don't need the preview right now. So you guys should be able to see the code pretty well. I have it blown up about as large as it can go. What I want to start with, guys, is getting our project directory set up. So I just want us to create a couple folders here that's going to help us organize our file and really adhere to our architecture pattern a little bit more smoothly, right? We're going to be using the MVVM architecture pattern here, or model view view model. That's what SwiftUI is based around. So let's go ahead and get that set up now. So go ahead and select your project folder name. This is going to be your Xcode project. This is the one you want to select right below it. We're going to create a couple new groups. How you do this, you right click, you can select new group, or you can highlight that guy and just hold down Command, Option, and N, right? And we're going to create 5 groups. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And let's go ahead and start naming them. The first one is going to be called Model. Second one is View. Third one is View Model. The fourth one is going to be API. And the fifth one is going to be utils. Okay, so this should be pretty straightforward. Obviously, all of our model files, like our user object or message object, will be going here. All of our view files will go here, view models here. Any sort of API helpers that we need are going to go in this folder, and any sort of utilities that we need, like a constants file or extensions files, are going to go in this utils folder here, guys. Okay, so that should be good for now. Guys, what I want us to do to get started, we're not going to be messing with this content view just yet. We are going to start by building out this login screen. So we're going to jump into just a little bit of coding now. So what I want us to do is hop into that view folder, and we're going to select Command N to create a new file. And we want to select SwiftUI View down in the user interface, right? Actually, guys, sorry. Before we do this, let's go ahead and create another folder within our View guy. So just select View and hit Command Option N, and we're going to call this Authentication. So this is our View folder, and all of our authentication views are going to go here, right? So we have our login view and our sign up view as well. So now under that authentication folder, we're going to create this login view. So select SwiftUI View. We're going to call that login view, and then go ahead and create another one. And we're going to call that registration view. Create. Okay, so now we have these 2 views, and we are looking pretty good. So for those of you who are pretty new to SwiftUI, I am not really going to be going into a lot of depth as to how, like the syntax of SwiftUI and what's what, like a VStack and HStack, all that stuff. I'm kind of just going to be diving into it. If you guys are unfamiliar with those terms or SwiftUI in general, I do recommend checking out like some YouTube tutorials. There's tons of awesome stuff out there just to get yourself familiarized with SwiftUI. But you guys should be able to pick it up as we go. But anyway, so what we're going to do is open up our preview provider here. So I'm just going to expand Xcode a little bit, cover up the simulator. Yeah, anyway. So we're going to select that canvas option. So you guys can select this guy and then hit canvas. And then let's hit resume. Actually, yeah, I'm going to want to select an iPhone 11 Pro Max. This is what we're going to be building for. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller and give myself a little bit more room to code here. Okay, so we see hello world, right? So I can actually just go ahead and pull up the login screen here. So what I want us to do in this video is just get this hello and welcome back on the screen right there. So that's going to be a pretty easy thing to do. So we're just going to hop into the body here, guys. We can delete this hello world guy, and we're going to place this inside of a VStack. And you can put that hello world text right back there. And you can see that it looks exactly the same. If you guys want to start changing things, if you're familiar with the preview provider, this should be pretty basic. If you're not, you guys will notice that as I change the text, it also updates in the preview provider as well. Let me see if I can make that bigger. So what we want to do is get this text, hello and welcome back, set up right now. So go ahead and just delete the SwiftUI chat and say hello. And that's our first piece of text right there. And we're just going to go ahead here and say .font, and we can say .large title, right? So we notice that that changes the size with this font modifier here. And then we're going to bold it as well. So that's looking pretty good. And then we want another piece of text. We can just copy and paste this guy here. We see that it appears below the hello world because we are in a VStack or vertical stack. And then we are going to say welcome back. And we can delete the period. And font is going to be large title. We're going to also keep it bolded, and we're going to give it a foreground color of .blue. So that's looking pretty good so far. Okay, realize I got a little typo there. Now guys, we notice that we need to do a couple things here, right? So we want this aligned to the left of our screen. And let's think about how we're going to accomplish that. Not only to the left of our screen, but we want the text aligned to the left side as well. So to get the text aligned to the left, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to say VStack, and then you can just open up the parentheses there and just go ahead and hit alignment. Don't press enter on the autocomplete because then it's going to, make things all messy. We just need this alignment property, and we're going to say .leading. And you guys will notice that that will adjust the alignment of the text there. So that's exactly what we want. We do, however, need this to be aligned to the left of the screen. So all we need to do is go up to the top of the VStack and create an HStack and just give it a spacer there. And we'll notice that that pushes it to the left side of the screen. So if you guys were to let's see. So that's our VStack. It's not showing up right now, but basically this HStack that we have and added this spacer just shoves everything to the left of the screen. So it just puts a spacer right here and just pushes it to the left side. Alternatively, if we were to put that spacer down here, oh, it still does that. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Anyway, so yeah, we have our HStack, which is our spacer there. Now we are going to want to give this some padding, guys. So on the VStack, we can just go ahead and say .padding, and we can just leave it as just like that. It gives it padding all around. If you guys just want the padding on the leading edge, you can just say .leading right there. And that looks good to me as well. And that's pretty much all we need right now. We do, however, want it to be pushed up to the top of the screen. So if I were to place a spacer at the bottom of the VStack, that moves everything to the top right there. Alternatively, if you were to put the spacer at the top of the VStack code, it would push everything to the bottom. Okay, so placement of things within your brackets is very important in SwiftUI. It does work from like a top-down order. So when I put the spacer there, it puts the spacer above everything else and pushes everything down. If I put the spacer at the bottom, it does the opposite. If you guys are familiar with SwiftUI, I'm sure that's pretty standard to you, but this is looking pretty good. Last thing I want to do, guys, is just get this wrapped inside of a navigation view before we move on to the next video. The reason for that is I know you don't see a navigation bar up at the top here, but when we click that don't have an account button to sign in, we do want to wrap this in a navigation view so that we can move back and forth seamlessly between these two screens. And this is really simple to do. You can literally just go ahead and command click on the VStack and you can say embed in HStack, it doesn't matter, and just replace HStack with navigation view, right? So that we can see now that we are inside of a navigation view there. And on that navigation view, if we don't want all this ugly padding, we can just go ahead and on the navigation view say .padding top, and you can say something like -56, and that will just move that up right there for you. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me right now. Let's just go ahead and run our project to make sure that everything is running and actually launching in the app and see how it looks in the app. So we notice right now that it's just saying hello world, and that's because our root view is still this content view. So right now what we're going to do is hop into our SwiftUI chat tutorial app file. It should look like this, @main struct SwiftUI app, blah, blah, blah. So this is where it sets up the root view of the application. You can just go ahead and replace this with login view, run the project, and now we should see our beautiful hello, welcome back to this on this login screen. So that's looking pretty good. In the next video, guys, we're gonna get started with completing the rest of this UI. Mainly, we're gonna be doing these text fields, and then we'll move on to the rest of the buttons and stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope everything makes sense so far. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.